Good morning and welcome to Central Kentucky Job Club. We will begin shortly. While people are joining us, please in the chat box, let us know where you're logging in from. Also, as a reminder in that chat box to change it from "to" to "everyone" so that we can see your questions and your comments during today's presentation. Again, welcome to Job Club. Thrilled to have so many people join us today. Welcome also to our in-person guest. We will begin shortly. Let us know in the chat box where you're joining us from. We have an exciting speaker today. Thrilled to have so many people join us. We will begin in just a moment. Okay, we'll begin rolling that PowerPoint, Kristin. All right. Thank you for joining us for today's Central Kentucky Job Club. Our agenda is as follows. We'll have our welcome. We'll get to share some success stories. We love hearing from our audience. As you have successes, please let us know. That's the highlight of Job Club and our facilitation team hearing from you about your journey. We'll have our main speaker. We'll have sharing of active job leads, partner updates, and we'll let you know what's coming up next for Job Club. Our mission of Job Club is to provide a positive environment for job seekers to network and learn best practices for the job search. We meet the second and the fourth Tuesday of each month, and you can find the topic of schedules at www.ukalumni.net/Job Club. Our facilitation team, I'm Caroline Francis, Director of UK Alumni Career Services. We are joined by Diana Doggett, Extension Specialist, Special Projects. We also have with us Amy Gamblin, Associate Director of Alumni Career Services, and Nicole Waite, Employment Specialist with UK Temporary Employment Steps. Also behind the scenes, doing so much work to help make today possible, Christy Kaufman, Lindsay Cottle, Sunny Saylor, Suzanne Smith, and Queen Sullivan. So thanks to our awesome facilitation team for helping make Job Club reality. Job Club is currently in hybrid format. So we have in-person at Fayette County Extension Office, Zoom webinar. Note that the chat moderator is available on Zoom, and Facebook Live, but that's a view only. There's no chat moderation or job lead newsletter in the Facebook Live feature. We'd like to remind you that we have a free resource packet. That information will be in the newsletter, a link to that. You can also find that on the website. Lots of incredible articles that will help facilitate your job search. Employers and recruiters are always welcome at Job Club. In-person employers can have 1 minute to share active job leads, or we can give you access to sharing those virtually via Zoom at the end today. Watch your email later today for a newsletter with job leads that will go out. Also, we really encourage you to keep an eye on our LinkedIn group. Many employers are using that to post active job leads, sometimes with a quick turnaround. So please make checking our LinkedIn page a couple of times a week, at least, part of your job search routine. Nice variety on that job page with resources. Some attendees are conducting a confidential job search, so we ask that you respect the confidentiality of others, that you may see their name or information in the chat box. Recordings are available. You can find those at www.ukalumni.net/job club. We'd like to welcome our first-time attendees. I know we have some here in our audience, so welcome. Online, if you're a first-time attendee, please let us know in the chat box. Love having first-time attendees, and we know you're going to get lots of good practical takeaways from today's presentation. Success stories. Success can be a lot of different things. Perhaps you've scheduled a networking coffee. Maybe you've updated your resume or LinkedIn profile. Possibly you've had an interview. Please let us know about your successes. Add some of those in the chat box. Let us know in the chat box. I have one that's been emailed in from an attendee that has been coming to Job Club. Also, we want to encourage you, as it's coming to the end of the year, please continue to be very active in your job search. Many companies are quickly scrambling for those end of the year hires. So we are hearing from clients and Job Club attendees that they are getting a lot of interviews right now. So come in strong, reconnect with any loose ends you may have in your job search. Use the holiday season for networking and reconnecting with people that you haven't talked with for a while, or former colleagues. There's lots of activity out there that we're hearing about. This success story came in from one of our Job Club attendees who asked to be anonymous, but she wanted to thank Job Club, the community, for all that it's done to help with her professional growth. She says, I've been a longtime Job Club attendee, both as an employer and more recently as a participant. As an employer, it was a fantastic referral opportunity that helped me recruit and hire high quality candidates. As a job seeker, it's helped me stay on top of the latest job search topics and trends, as well as an opportunity to polish my resume and interviewing skills from my recent job search. I want to express gratitude, especially for Alumni Career Services, and help with negotiating a salary during the recent job search process. They were able to help me strategize and think through the negotiation conversation that resulted in me walking away with a better salary than I was offered and more confidence. Job Club is a unique community and a huge resource that we're lucky to have. As being someone who has experienced the personal impact, I want to again express my gratitude for all those that lead and facilitate and play any part in Job Club. Thank you so much. Awesome. We love hearing those success stories. Any in the chat box that have come through. Don't be shy. Let us know when you've had some activity or successes. We're going to share a few of those. We have someone updating their CV. Great. Good time to update your resume, your CV, so that you're all ready to go. I always tell people, if you were asked for your resume and the job closed at midnight tonight, is your resume ready to go? Hopefully it will be. All right, moving along. We want to get to our wonderful speaker today. Kristin LaFontaine is a business owner in Central Kentucky. She and her husband, Gus, operate 5 educational facilities that serve more than 400 students ages infant through 5th grade. Kristin leads personal and professional development activities for their staff of over 100 people. She specializes in mindset coaching and facilitating positive interpersonal and professional relationships. Kristin is a certified life coach and a breathwork facilitator. And today she's going to share with us the cure for imposter syndrome. Welcome, Kristin.
Hello. Hey, you can go back to the original slide, Christy. All right, 14 years ago, I was newly married, talking to my husband on the phone in Kentucky while he was on the other side of the world in Afghanistan. Months earlier, in our brief courtship of literal weeks, he had told me he always wanted to be a school teacher, and I was fine with that idea. I had pictured myself as the stay-at-home mom with just, or at the time, just a stay-at-home wife, and he was the school teacher, and he'd go to school and we'd build a little family and have a cute little life. But on that phone call, he said, I think I want to open my own school. And he was kind of getting me to kind of come along with that. And I didn't even know that you could do that, but I went with it. So he did a lot of research while he was finishing his deployment. And I started laying the groundwork, and we started creating a preschool together in Madison County for when he got home. But here's the thing, I didn't finish college, and I also never gravitated toward any kind of career with kids. Like, I was never the babysitter type or anyone that like really wanted to hang out with kids. And now we were opening a preschool. So now, like it says in my bio, we have 5 sites. We serve over 400 students. And now I love the work that I get to do. But I tell you this story because I spent years telling myself I wasn't qualified to be doing the work I ended up doing as we grew. I felt like a fraud and an imposter for the better part of a decade. I know the crippling anxiety, wondering if people are going to realize you don't belong, and all of the hiding in the background you do when you feel that way. And if this is your experience, I see you. I've been you. So let's talk about your imposter syndrome and how it shows up for you as you seek to advance your career. You can move on to the next slide. So you might be wondering if this even applies to me. A New York Times article I read said that 70% of people will experience imposter syndrome at least once in their lives. And why is this a problem? Because if you're part of the 70%, it's stunting your growth, creating anxiety, and prohibiting your ability to perform in your roles or seek better roles or even seek out new career path for yourself. If you're part of the 30%, guess what? You work with these people. They are your friends, your peers, your partners. And if you're part of the 70%, I'm going to teach you what to do when it pops up for you. And if you're part of the 30%, I'll teach you tools how you can support all of us if we're going through that imposter syndrome. Next slide. You're familiar with Michelle Obama, of course. Harvard and Princeton educated, attorney, author, and Netflix producer. When asked how she felt to be seen as a, quote, symbol of hope during her book tour for Becoming in 2018, she told students in the audience this, and I quote, I still have a little bit of imposter syndrome. It never goes away, that you're actually listening to me. It doesn't go away, that feeling that you shouldn't take me seriously. What do I know? I share that with you because we all have doubts in our abilities, about our power and what that power is. End quote. We can move on to the next one. So first, let me tell you what it's not. It's not a diagnosis, but imposter syndrome is a phrase coined in 1978 by psychologists in a research paper about high achieving women. It's a core belief that we're not as bright, talented, or competent as people think we are. We think we've somehow managed to fool everyone around us into thinking we belong where we are. Next slide. Here's what it looks like. We're doubting our abilities and our skills. We're minimizing, go back to the previous slide. There you go. Minimizing and diminishing our accomplishments. and disregarding or ignoring our contributions. So how many times have you heard yourself or other people talk about their accomplishments in a dismissive manner? It sounds like, yeah, but. It could be like, it's not a big deal. Anyone can do it. This is a fluke. I don't know how I got here. Maybe you find yourself not adding things to your resume because you're minimizing like what kind of accomplishment or experience that it actually is, because in your mind, it's not a big deal. So those are your clues. I've been an entrepreneur for 12 years. What started as a little tiny half-day preschool when Gus got back from Afghanistan has now grown to multiple sites and a private school. In fact, just yesterday, we had a meeting with our local school board as a prerequisite to becoming a charter school, maybe Kentucky's first charter school. I've worn all the hats over the years, from human resources, marketing, amateur web designer, preschool substitute teacher, and many times a janitor or construction worker. For the past few years, I've been doing leadership development with our staff, and even more recently, doing a lot of hiring. During a recent training, we discussed imposter syndrome, and one school leader shared that she had been working that same charter school application for the private school. It's about 1,000 pages. And the way she spoke about that was, she's not that good at it, and I'm riding someone else's coattails. These were her thoughts about her contribution to the 1,000-page application, that she's not that good at it. Here's the thing. She was leading a huge, complicated project. She was solving difficult problems, and she's organized, competent, and her contributions are key to the success of our application. And you might be thinking, okay, fine. This is just her being modest. This is not a big deal. But I'm here to tell you it is a big deal. You can go to the next slide. So let me tell you why this is a problem. Imagine you have your dream career or position. You love the work, the pace, and the mission. Imagine that in your mind. If you are suffering from imposter syndrome and are thinking, I don't know how I got here, and are feeling insecure and doubtful, how do you think you are going to contribute to the goals and initiatives in your role? You probably won't be as creative. You're more likely to second guess your opinions and skills and maybe contribute less or not at all. You probably won't take risks or make the big asks, which means you're playing small in that role. And there's a good chance you'll ask more questions because you're not confident in making your own decisions. Or maybe you're performing, but inside you're crushed by your inner dialogue, creating stress and anxiety. You're just waiting to be called into the boss's office and told that you're not cutting it and you don't belong on the team. Or if you're seeking a job or a career move, you're going to count yourself out ahead of time by not even applying. You'll have increased anxiety when headed into networking events, coffee chats, interviews. And when you have imposter syndrome as a job seeker, you won't confidently share your achievements or skills with those who can help you get the role you want. So if what I'm describing sounds familiar, then that is your indicator that imposter syndrome is impacting your career path and your goals. And plus, it feels awful. Like, I know, I've been there. You can go to the next one. So what do we do about it? You can go to the next one. I have 3 tools for you and a bonus one at the end if we have a minute. Number 1, we're going to gain awareness. I'll teach you a tool for that. Number 2, build a case. And number 3, I'll give you a really good reason to stop it. All right, so next one. So first is gain awareness. So here's a simple structure that can help you be mindful and build awareness. When we're aware, when we notice, we can start to be the observer of our experience rather than being fully caught up in that anxiety and pressure of imposter syndrome. For this construct, this tool, there are 5 things in the world, and everything fits into one of these 5 categories, CTFAR. And I'll talk through each one, and then I'll share an example in the chat. So C is circumstances, or in other words, the facts. They are the things that happen outside of us. They're the job we have, the job we're looking to have. It's the words on our resume. It's just the simple, straight up facts. It's the words someone says and the decibels that they spoke in. Circumstances are neutral, and we get to decide what we want to make them mean with the next thing, which is our thoughts. So when our brain processes the input of the circumstances, it creates a meaning or like a story about it. And the meaning is just the sentences in our mind and the stories we're telling ourselves about the facts or the circumstances. But our thoughts can create our feelings, and the feelings are the emotions in our body, and our feelings fuel our actions. Actions are things we do or we don't do because the way we are feeling, and our results are created by the things we do and we don't do. The only thing we can't control here or have influence over often is our circumstances, at least in the moment. So we can choose how we want to think, feel, act, and the results we create. So let's use my example from earlier, and I'm going to put this in the chat as so I was an administrator. Oh my gosh, administrator at our school. And that was my circumstance. And my thought was, I don't belong here. And then when I thought that, I felt nervous and like an imposter. And then my actions were, I didn't share my ideas. I kept quiet often. So I didn't always introduce myself or put myself out there. I didn't I wasn't as friendly as I was maybe inclined to be. And then I just focused on everyone else's achievements and educational background. And then my result was I was showing up small. I didn't contribute in the way I could have. And so the reason why I'm sharing with you is that this tool can help you in the moment to build self-awareness, to recognize what's happening for you in this moment and help you maybe recognize the times when you are having those imposter syndrome thoughts, feelings, and actions. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this in this tool. So you can go to the next slide. So I did this exercise with a few groups of leaders at our schools. These are highly capable, intelligent, driven people. Most of them were experiencing imposter syndrome around their identity as a leader and just in their role in general. Some of them are leaders over small groups and others manage very large groups. And so here are their imposter syndrome thoughts, feelings, and actions, or things they don't do. So you shouldn't take me seriously. I don't know what I'm talking about. If no one else will do it, then I will, meaning like you kind of wait to see what other people are going to do if they're going to make the first move. I never thought of people seeing me that way as a leader. Other people can do it better. I'm doing it wrong. It's not a big deal. It's just what you do. And you see those feelings that those thoughts create for them. And then the way that they show up when they are feeling imposter syndrome is they don't contribute, they don't share their ideas, they certainly don't celebrate themselves or acknowledge themselves, and all of those things. And my question to you is, does any of this sound familiar, or has this ever been your experience? And I'd love to hear in the chat if you've ever said anything like that to yourself or felt that way as you seek to get a new role or go out and meet new people. And you can move on to the next one. So now it's your turn. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick one accomplishment you've achieved. Yeah, someone said, yes, I've had these thoughts more than once. Me too. So I want you to think about some kind of, we had a little moment for wins in the beginning. And you don't have to share. It's wonderful if you do, but think about one accomplishment, and just to hopefully these pictures can maybe spur something for you. And by accomplishment, I'm not talking necessarily about something big. It could be, you scheduled an interview, you reached a goal, personal or professional, you completed schooling sometime in the past, jobs you've applied to, coffee chats scheduled, networking events attended. Maybe you finally completed a certification or checked something off of your to-do list that has been there for a long time. Or maybe you have some kind of physical goal you've achieved. It could be any size, big or small. I even really love the smaller examples, quote unquote small. Like I went to the gym this week, or I met my water goal for the day, because it's so easy to minimize that, and you'll see more what we can do about that. So pick one. You can put it in the chat or just write it down, because there is some little, we're going to exercise using this. We're going to use this tool a little bit. So we'll go on to the next one. So write down that little goal, or large or small accomplishment, and then write out what those thoughts are that come up for you, where you notice you're kind of minimizing it or diminishing, or you're just like, this is not that big of a deal that I met my water goal for the day, or that I updated my resume. And then what kind of feelings do you have about it, and your actions. Oh, awesome. Oh, Elena's saying she got her undergrad degree. That's amazing. Oh, in late 30s. So good. Yes. Okay, perfect. Now, I'm not going to put thoughts in your mouth, or in your head, but maybe there's some thoughts of yeah, and other people do that too. Or, you're just it's so easy to minimize that, right? I don't believe that about you at all. I think that's a lie, but you have these imposter syndrome thoughts. So I'm going to give you an example of somebody that in our organization, and she got into nursing school. So her accomplishment is she got into nursing school. That's her circumstance. I'm putting that in the chat. And then her thought about it is, I don't know if I'm capable. Okay. And then when she thinks that, and she got into nursing school, she feels really stressed out. So in that moment, she's stressed. And then here's what she does when she's stressed. She questions herself. She plans for the worst. She's going to get kicked out. She's going to run out of money, all these terrible things, because she's I don't know if I'm capable. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. And sorry if I'm ignoring her reasons. And then she's just not seeing all the reasons that she is capable. Okay. And then basically what she's creating for herself is just more evidence that she's not capable, because that's all she's focusing on. So when you have some awareness around this little or big accomplishment that you have, then we can do something about it. But first we have to know where we're starting, okay? So let's go to the next piece. So we've just gained awareness, which is the first step. And now we're going to build a case. So imagine you're a prosecutor. Your job is to collect evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant is guilty. Now imagine that the defendant is your brain. It's your brain who doesn't really want to believe that you belong, or that you deserve, or that you really created that accomplishment. Your brain is nope, that wasn't me. That's not a big deal. So we're going to build a case for your brain, hopefully beyond a reasonable doubt, that you are not an imposter. Now, I want to make a note. This isn't meant to make up an entire false narrative about who you are. Like, I didn't go to law school. I'm legitimately not qualified to be a lawyer. So I'm not going to try to spin some kind of thing about me being a successful lawyer. What I'm talking about is the skills and abilities that you have developed that we don't notice, that are real and legitimate and good and are helpful in everything that you pursue in your life. For example, I was so focused on how I wasn't as highly educated as the staff at our schools and spent a lot of time feeling like a fraud. But I had so many great skills and tendencies that were amazing for being an entrepreneur. I'm genuine and I'm warm with people. I was able to build relationships with children and families. I'm a risk taker. Married my husband within, we hardly knew each other, and then started a business. It was just like, sure. And I had a background of entrepreneurship. So I have this can-do attitude and ability to figure things out. I did not see any of that because I was so focused on what I wasn't. So that's why it's important that we make a case. We can go to the next piece. All right, so that accomplishment that we had before, and we have our thoughts and feelings about it. Now we're going to put that in the R line, in the result line. And here's why. Because you did create that result. You did that for you. Nobody did that for you. Whatever it is, making dinner, running a 5K, updating your LinkedIn profile, completing schooling, when it was challenging for you. So let's talk about how you actually did it. So we're going to move up this structure backwards, starting with the R line, and that action line, we're going to focus on all the actions that you took to create that. We're going to build that case. So I want you to start writing that down. And you could even put it in the chat, but I'm going to talk about the person who got into nursing school. So her R line is she got into the nursing school, their nursing program. And I'm going to list out all the things as we built a case for her. So she planned ahead for years to accomplish that, took classes, went to those classes, passed. She had to get good grades, took the exam, paid money, a lot of money, had to make the money. So she worked 2 jobs. All right, let me pull this over. Had to make money, worked 2 jobs, prepared for 2 years. Do you see this? She stayed focused. I mean, that doesn't just happen where you make decision after decision after decision. She stayed focused. She paid off debt. She didn't talk herself out of it. I mean, there's so much that she did for herself out of it. And then, and all through that, she had relationships and friendships, and she is a contributing member of society. So her original thought was, when she got into nursing school, I don't know if I'm capable. But when we look at all of those actions that created that result for her, you see that those are the actions of a very capable person, of somebody who can do really hard things, of somebody who has already proven it to herself that she can do things that are long-term and create, take tiny decisions after decisions. But when she's focused on, just that staying in that imposter syndrome scenario, she's going to completely ignore and miss, because that's just one of the hallmarks of imposter syndrome, is you just forget like everything that created what you've done. So imagine in this, Elena, let's see, and Kitty, reading my book, some pages every day. Amazing. Okay. So like these things, they take commitment, they take consistency, they take decisions, they take scheduling. I mean, think about all the things that you're doing to stay committed to yourself and the results you're creating. It's just showing you did do it and you can do more. So this is a practice that you can start doing to help you take ownership of what you're doing, showing you what your skills and abilities and accomplishments, that they're legitimate and real and good. It is not bragging. It's giving yourself permission to be fully yourself instead of, some lesser imaginary version of yourself. So you can move on to the next one. So there's another way to look at imposter syndrome. And this is what helped me become more committed to seeing imposter syndrome eliminated for myself and especially for the women that I work with. So we'll discuss stopping it. You can go to the next one. So I'm going to tell you a story. This is me and my family. I have 5 little kids, and I have a set of twins. So I'm going to talk about one of them, Bennett, who's on the left-hand side in the pink. But some of my thoughts as a business owner in much of that first decade was, as I was contributing and being a janitor and doing so many other things, was you're just a mom. So what about what you have to share? It's not that big of a deal and nobody cares. I literally was thinking of those thoughts about myself, even as I'm working in our business and raising our family. So set that aside and let's talk about Bennett. A year and a half ago or so, she's a new reader. She's 8 now. And she brought me a book around bedtime. And she's like, Mom, I really want to read you a book. And I thought it would be like a short book, a level book that is pretty short at her level. But she instead brought me Amelia Bedelia, which those books are so cute and funny if you've ever read them. But it was really long for her capabilities as a reader. And she painstakingly went through the entire book, sounding out almost every word in there. And if you've ever been with a new reader, it takes a long time. So she was doing that, and it took a long time. And I was really happy when it was done, but it was also so sweet because I couldn't believe that she finished the whole book. It probably took 30 to 40 minutes for her. And afterwards, she said, Mom, I read a whole book. It kind of makes me tear up thinking about it because she was so proud of herself for reading that book imperfectly. She didn't know it was imperfect, but she's just so proud she accomplished that. All right, so picture Bennett, sweet Bennett, perfect Bennett, reading that book. She's so proud of it. Imagine if the narrative in her mind or the words she heard were similar to the words I was telling myself as we're building our business. Yeah, okay, so you're 7. Like, so what that you read a book? It's not that big of a deal. Nobody cares. Obviously, I would never say that to her, but these are the words that we sometimes tell ourselves. You can go to the next slide. So I have a little mantra for you. If you wouldn't say it to a child or a friend, stop saying it to yourself. And it's a little bit easier to see it in the context of somebody else. Like, would I say this to someone? Why am I saying that to me? Like, I can really, truly be so proud of even those micro steps I'm taking towards my goals. But once you start to see it, once you start to gain awareness of the words that you're using and the way that you are framing who you are and what you've accomplished, hopefully you won't be able to unsee it, and that can maybe help you. So you can move on. So just a quick review. Hopefully you see that this applies to you. I know there was a couple people that mentioned that it did. And it's a problem because it has you not showing up in the way that you can and shining your light and helping you reach your goals. It creates this slower, really anxiety-ridden pathway towards your goals if you even reach them. And then I gave you some tools for what to do about it, and we'll go ahead and review that in the next slide. So number one, you need to know what's happening. You need to see it. And hopefully using the tool, that CTFAR, practice that like in the moment. What am I telling myself in this moment? How am I feeling in this moment? And what is causing that? To do that, you can start to shift because you actually see it really clearly what's happening. And then build a case, work your way backwards. You know, thanks, Kitty. I agree. It throws everything that was involved in the micro steps you're taking and the large, huge steps that you're taking towards becoming the person that you are and being able to sell yourself to the people that you need to. They need to know like how resourceful you are, how committed you are, how great of a person you are at keeping your habits and managing your time. You have proof and evidence of that, and you need to like override your brain to tell yourself that. And number three, hopefully I gave you a different way of looking at those words that we talk to ourselves and supporting ourselves, just that it can be kinder, because if we wouldn't say it to the kids in our lives, the sweet friends we have, then we don't have to say that to ourselves. It's just hurting us. And I wrote be the example because when you start doing this work, you give permission for others to do the same. Like hopefully we want everyone around us to have a really strong sense of self, to recognize the accomplishments that they are pursuing and what they've already contributed to the world. And we can be the example of that. So it's not bragging. Your skills, experience, and accomplishments matter and have made you who you are today, and they will help you pursue your career goals or the next little piece that you're working on. All right, so we have a couple minutes, so I'm going to give you one last bonus piece here on this next slide. So, and this has happened to me so many times. Sometimes we are so caught up in the emotions of imposter syndrome. I know for me, I was even feeling nervous and anxious preparing for this, and I could just feel it in my body. I feel all tense, and you know, my breathing gets shallow. And sometimes when our nervous system is reacting, it's kind of in that fight or flight, freeze or fawn. Like we can't talk our way out of that experience in our body, right? I was actually at a conference recently, and a speaker who had a whole presentation, bless her heart, she had to actually leave the stage and someone had to take over her presentation because she had a panic attack. I mean, you can't talk yourself out of it and like make a case in that situation. You really just have to calm your body down. So, one place you may have to start if it's just so gripping for you is calming our nervous system. And one amazing way to do that was with breathing. It was mentioned in my bio. I am a certified breathwork facilitator, and I'll take you through a really quick breathing exercise that you can do that can help you calm your nervous system. So you can participate or not, but we're going to do a 3-part breath really quick. It's called the tri-active breath. I recommend that you have your feet on the floor and you have some kind of support on your back. So I'll do a couple practice breaths and then we'll do 3 together. So tri-active meaning 3. So 2 inhales through your mouth. The first is to your belly, the second into your chest, and then out through your mouth. I'm gonna do it one more time. So into your belly, into your chest, and then out. So let's just do 3 together. It can really invigorate you. So we're gonna do that. So into your belly, into your chest, and then out. Couple more. Last one, into your belly, into your chest, and then out. It can really help your nervous system if you extend that exhale. So that might make you a little bit lightheaded, but that's okay. It's totally normal because we took in a little bit more oxygen. But just recognize there are some cognitive things you can do, but sometimes first you're going to have to calm your body down before you move to those cognitive exercises. So that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for your time and for your wonderful comments. And I am available for questions if there are any.
Thank you, Kristin. That was just excellent. I'm still feeling the effects of that breathing technique. That is, do we have any questions in our audience here in person or online? You did such a terrific job of going through that step by step with us. You know, so often I think we look to others to build our confidence when all along we're just defeating ourselves with our self-talk. And I've learned a lot today about what those thoughts can do to you. What a great information for a job search and as we prepare. Any questions online? I know we're getting a lot of accolades, lots of thank yous, and just what a terrific job with this topic. All right, well, as we move on, we're going to discuss who's hiring. And that means that if we have employers with active job leads, please make their way to the podium. We don't have anyone here in person today, but if you are online and you would like to announce a job lead, would you just raise your hand and we'll give you some time to do that. Anything online today? Okay. Remember, in your email that will arrive this afternoon, we do have job leads. And if you have one you would like to share, just send that to jobclub@uky.edu by noon. And we will post that in the newsletter that comes to all of our attendees today. Right, we're going to talk about what's going on with our job club facilitators, and we'll begin with extension. Cooperative extension, we have extension offices in all 120 counties in Kentucky, so I hope you are tuning in websites or visiting in person to these local offices, and you're finding out what's available in their fall and winter programs. I can assure you they have lots to do, opportunities to volunteer, and it will just be a great day when you turn to your extension office with a problem or with a service that you would like to contribute. So check out Cooperative Extension. We're here at Fayette County Extension. So if you want to check and come by and visit with them, they are open. Our next facilitator obviously is our human resources. And we have, that is UK Temporary Steps Employment, Nicole Waite leads that for us. She is not with us today, but she has prepared some job leads ahead of time that we will include in our email newsletter. So look for those this afternoon. And I can assure you there will be some really great ones, and make sure that you visit that website as well. And that's in your chat box, the address to that. UK Alumni Career Services have a lot going on as usual. And if you would like some more one-on-one help with resume writing or interview tips, LinkedIn, job search strategies, there are opportunities for you to get that individualized additional coaching service. So there's information online that you can contact them at the website and find out more about these services. So next time at Job Club, this is one that we really like to do regularly. We haven't done this for a while, but we get requests for it. It's applying for state government, insights into the job application process. It does differ from just regular job applications. So we want to give you the heads up on that. Rebecca Singleton will be with us. She's a Kentucky State Government applicant, veterans, and recruitment assistance administrative branch manager. So she's in the know, and we're excited that she is going to share with us. You can register at our website, www.ukalumni.net/job club, or you could use our UK QR code that's on the screen. I do want to mention that there will be some changes in the new year with Job Club, and we'll be announcing those through your email newsletter. So look for those. We'll be completely explaining that. Not everything has been officially decided, but there will be more information for you to receive on that. So stay tuned. And on behalf of Job Club, we're so glad that you were with us today. We know you learned a lot. Keep on searching. Treat your job search as a job, and we will look forward to seeing you on December the 12th for Job Club.